What's going on YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Welcome back to Central North Carolina, back to my lawn. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week thus far. But I wanted to mention to you guys, as far as we didn't have a video on Monday, it's difficult for Monday videos. We've got basketball going on. Me and Mr. Blake, that you guys remember from the live stream. We are a team together, coaching a team. We're there all day. We're pulling security at the gym. We're helping out with different things at the gym. We're there all day. So coming back on a Saturday, it's difficult to film. And then we got church, and we're always with mom and dad. It's the day of rest for us. We're out doing the church thing, coming back a little late, about the same time we do from basketball day, and it's really difficult to get in filming for a Monday video, edit, get it out there. So we may be a little bit slow on Monday videos, so just be aware of that. That's why we didn't have one this past Monday. So if I'm able to do it on Fridays, I'll try. But just know that if you don't see one on Monday, we'll try to get one definitely on Wednesday or Friday until we start picking up here in spring. So just wanted to tell you that. Before we get into the other topic we're going to talk about, going down into what if I am seeding in spring, I want to mention that I did get some more emails from NC State. They are doing multiple smaller classes on turf grass. There's one that I saw that is in Smithfield. There's another one going on, an all-day class going on in Greensboro. And maybe I'll put some of that on the screen while I'm talking, but it's basically the same schedule for all of these. And there's another one in Wilmington on February 28th, and I did sign up for this one. The cost for these, you can do just a morning session, it's 30 bucks. You can do an afternoon session, it's 30 bucks. I did $60 for the full day at Wilmington, because as you guys know, my brother lives down there. I can just go down, hang out with him. Probably not going to be too far from his home, and come back the next day. So I am going to go and check these out myself down in Wilmington and take that class. It's a little bit cheaper than the 4-day one for $600. So we're doing a full day talking about fungus, talking about insect, talking about different turf types, and the new and what's going on. And so again, if you're a landscaper, if you're just a person wanting to have more lawn care knowledge, they encourage you to come. So check those out if you're interested in just a morning or a full day class, that may be for you. So check those links out below in the in the description below. So with that said, we've been talking about here on the channel, when we're able to get videos out to you guys, we've been talking about crabgrass, we've been talking about quinclorac, we've been talking about when's the best time to seed, we've been talking about all this stuff. And so I wanted to kind of stay on that as long as we can and go into what if I am going to seed in the spring, Mr. Ferguson. Let's say I'm not able to do pre-emergent, I need to do some seeding in the springtime. How would you go about doing that if you were doing it? And there's a few things that I would do that probably lines up with exactly what you guys would do, but let's just quickly talk about it in this video. The number one, I don't think that I would aerate if it was me. I would do my aeration probably more in the fall when I'm able to use pre-emergent. So if you're seeding in spring and you're like, if I seed in spring, I'm not going to seed in fall. What I'd probably do my aeration in the fall, and that way we're opening up the ground. Again, aeration, core aeration, I think is vital. If you've done it in the past year, I wouldn't say you need to do it this year. If you've not done it in like 3+ years, I'd say you probably need to consider aerating. Compaction happens in our lawn, and we need to loosen our soil so those roots are able to dive down deep into the ground, and compaction prohibits that, especially if you got kids, if you got a lot of walking on your property. You definitely want to maybe have to aerate a little more than every 3 or so years. So remember that when we aerate, we're opening up the ground, we're opening up weed seeds, and there's an exposure to the air and to the sun. If we do it in the spring, you're opening up for crabgrass, and we're not able to do pre-emergent, remember, because we're planting grass seed. If we do grass seed and then come back and do prodiamine, then we're just defeating the purpose of the grass seed. It's going to stop all of that seed from growing, because that's the job of the pre-emergent. So we have to choose here. And so if we go with seeding and aeration, yes, you're going to have that growth. And if it comes in thick, it may block out a lot of weeds, but you're going to have a lot of weeds come up. And if you're like, well, I'm going to aerate in the spring, okay, it's your lawn. Again, you do what you want. Just prepare for crabgrass to be able to come up. And you're going to be interested in the last video we did talking about how do we get rid of post-emergent crabgrass. That once I aerate, once I seed, my grass is coming in. You know, what can I use? Tenacity is what we use in the fall. You can absolutely use it in the spring. Just remember, if you're doing areas with fine fescue, creeping red fescue, chewing fescue, things of this, tenacity will kill that grass. It won't come up right. It will stunt the growth of it. You don't want to use it with fine fescues. If you're doing straight Kentucky bluegrass, if you're doing ryegrass, I believe you're good. Kentucky, you know, a tall fescue, you're fine to use tenacity. Just remember, it's a pre and post emergent, which is great to help it only. It will block all those weeds at time of aeration, right? It'll block all those for 28 days, but once the 28 days runs out, if you don't do another application of tenacity, now you're open to weedville, right? Your pre-emergent, the tenacity has run out, your seed is up, and if it's thick, that will definitely help block out weeds, but you may have some come up that you'll have to handle post-emergent. If you choose to throw down the seed, spot seed in areas, maybe use the garden weasel like we've said, and spot seed, I think that's fine. I think spraying a little tenacity to cover to make sure only the good grass comes up and no of the broadleaf weeds comes up is great. But remember, 28-day window, I would say 21-day window. If you're going to reapply another app of tenacity, you want to do it around day 21 so you keep your pre-emergent coverage going. But remember, actually take that back, so you have to correct myself. That baby grass, you have to wait until 2 mows, I believe is the rule. 2 mows on that baby grass until you can apply tenacity again. So you can't go back to back. Excuse me, take that back. Once your new grass comes up, now you got to wait till you mow it twice. Now it's mature enough to handle tenacity again. So you've got that window where weeds are able to come up. So, and you're going to bleach your lawn. So in the middle of spring, when everything's popping up, your lawn will be a bleached white. If you like that, go for it. But remember, you can apply it. Let me say this again because I don't want to confuse you. Once you plant your grass seed in the spring, you can apply tenacity. But after that 21 days, the seed has to now grow and be cut twice before you can reapply tenacity again in order not to harm the new seedlings. So be aware of that. Read the labels. Always read the labels. Don't always just say, well, this guy on YouTube said. Just like we tell people at church, don't just listen to what the preacher says. Read what's in God's word, right? So now aerating again, I would be aerating. I say this about aerating because the last time I did aerating in my lawn, your lawn, it gets damaged from that. Your good grass is going to take a little bit of damage. It will recover, but it takes about a week. It took my lawn about a week after aerating to recover, actually more about 2 weeks, and really get back to looking to normal. So if you aerate in the spring, your lawn's going to suffer from that damage of that weight from pulling those cores out. It does loosen compaction, but it's going to take it a week, week and a half, 2 weeks to recover. And now that seed will begin to grow up, but so will weeds. And if it's 55 degrees or warmer in your soil, crabgrass is going to come up. You got to be prepared to fight crabgrass all spring and into summer. That's why I would choose to do pre-emergent in the spring. Just keep what you got in place. This is my recommendation, but you guys do what you want. But if I'm you, I would do pre-emergent in the spring, stop crabgrass all year, have a weed-free lawn, and then work on this in the fall and do it early fall, you know, beginning of September, depending on our location and what our temps and soil temps are. Do this in the fall, aerate first. With dethatch, I've got a little dethatcher down in my shed. I've not used it in a while, but just pulling up any dead, scarifying the ground a little bit. I do that periodically. I've not done it, I don't think, in 2 years, but I run that, get all the dead, bring it to life on the surface, rake it up, throw it in the woods, aerate, and if it's not been done in several years, and then do my seed. And then now you will be subject to POA annua, but there is something we've talked about on the channel called ethofumicate that is safe to apply to grass seed being laid down. Not so for spring. When me and Mr. Kevin tried existing POA annua in the spring, we tried to put down ethofumicate on that. It didn't kill the POA annua after it had post-emergent shown up, right? So doing it as a pre-emergent, several applications of ethofumicate will help stop POA in the fall and in the winter months. But when we seed in the spring, crabgrass, there's nothing out there that I know that you can apply, and there may be something out there similar to ethofumicate for the fall that you can apply in spring to help slow down or stop the crabgrass that is safe for new seed. I'm not aware of it. Comment below if you are. So that's kind of that's the mind you have to be thinking about when you're talking about prepping, like I'm going to seed this spring. Okay, well, be prepared for weeds to come up, because you're going to, if you're going to aerate, be prepared for weeds to come, or if you're not going to pre-emergent, be prepared for weeds to come up. You're going to have to fight them after they emerge and after you see them. If you're going to pre-emergent, you put the pre-emergent down here before temps hit 55 degrees. That's when crabgrass begins to germinate. So we want to lay our pre-emergent down in the spring. If you're like me and you're going to do that, I'm putting that down before 55 degrees, because just like Poa annua, you can't see it with your eye, your natural eye, but crabgrass begins to germinate at 55 degrees in our soil. So I've got to get ahead of that. If you're going to aerate, be prepared for such things. Just wanted to talk about spring seeding. If you're going to do it, these are the kind of things I would be considering, thinking about, lining up. Do I want to aerate? Do I want to wait and aerate in the fall and do it then? My lawn is going to have to recover. It's not going to look great if I put tenacity down. It is going to bleach it and look kind of, you know, kind of white in certain areas if I blanket spray that everywhere. What do I want to do here? Do I want to push it off pre-emergent and wait to the fall? So those are the things I would be considering, and figure out what's best for you. So we're expecting a lot of rain here today in North Carolina for the next like 4 or 5 days. Again, I wish we could save all this rain for May and June here in North Carolina, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But hope you guys are doing well. Hope this gets your wheels turning in your head a little bit. Let me know your thoughts below. What are you planning on doing? Are you going to be spring seeding? What's your plan in that? Do you plan to aerate with that? Are you going to aerate later on? What's your thoughts on that? What seed are you guys going with? Let me know with that below. What's the new greatest thing out there? And so just wanted to bring one to you today. Hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday, fantastic week. We'll see you on the next lawn care video. God bless you.